listening to GUFON Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
GUFON Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
GUFON Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
GUFON Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to GUFON Radio with Rich Giordano.
All right. Welcome to GUFON, everybody. It is Monday, August 23rd, 2021. Yeah, I know. But be proud. You're here. You did it. You accomplished the Monday goal. Tomorrow has no feel. So just go through the motions tomorrow. And then Wednesday, it'll be hump day. Next thing you know, it's Friday. You really only have 2 days left. That's it. Wednesday and Friday. That's how I look at it. Got a good show tonight. I hope you're in the mood. Special event show. Special report. The Pascagoula Abduction case. Calvin Parker and I think it's Charles Davies? I can't remember the guy's name. Charles, though. It's Charles. Hold on. Let me do this. Turn down the gain a little bit on the microphone. I don't like the way it was so loud on Amy's show. Alien Girl show was fun yesterday. If you guys haven't checked that out. She asked the best questions. And 2 hours went by in a flash. I couldn't believe it was 2 hours. I'm like, dude, that was really fast. So I hope tonight goes that fast for you. I hope we have a nice time. I can't thank Alien Girl 111 enough for having me on and asking such fun questions. You know, it's good. See, that's the kind of interviews I want to do. And I always said, if I ever had Stanton Friedman on, because I banned having him on the show. I said, I don't want to talk to him. What's he going to say? That's what I used to say all the time. Now he's dead. I wish I had him on, but I digest. So, I always said if I had Stanton on, you know what I would ask him? What kind of kid were you? Did you play sports? Did you learn an instrument? You know, did you have a dog? What was your dog's name? Did you kick your dog? Were you bullied as a child? Did the dog bully you? You got a British bulldog? I would ask Stanton questions like that. How was your mom and dad? They still together or are they dead? How old are you now, 80? Yeah, they're 120. Huh. It's a good age. 120's still young. Their eyes are shut. Their lips are in the, I just can't see shit. I can't eat. That's how old. That's what you're going to look like when you hit 120. Unless they have a cell rejuvenation technique. And they better get started finishing that up because I have only got about 20 years left of reality. Yeah, so I'm going to retire in 17 more years. 70. I'll retire at 70. It's a good year. Yeah, then I'll blow my brains out. I'm just kidding. Somebody will, though. Somebody might, though. Who do I think I am? Such importance. What an ego. I'm not a killable guy. Hey! Who is that guy? Who is that? Wilka! With a $5 super chat. Rich, you inspire me. When are you going to have another Kenneth Pass on your show? Soon. It may be soon, my friend. It may be soon. But you got Invisichick because you got the green. Thank you very much. Mucho gusto. Generoso. And I know the mouth is kind of sexual. I realized that the very instant I opened up the package. I know. He doesn't know what it means, that. Stupid chickens. Why did I buy those, Betty Double Kick Chick or Misty? One of you two said get a chicken. Get a chicken. And these chickens, even if you choke them, nothing happens. Oh, that looks weird, doesn't it? It's so cool. I'm like 5 years old. Kenneth Pass is a rarity. He called in. Nobody invited him. He called in. By the way, I found the actual show. Somebody was asking me for it. Oh, no. Well, I know which one it is. Somebody was asking me for it, and it's not it's not a Kenneth Pass show. You know what I mean? Because it was a call-in show. Now, I accidentally deleted it or took it off my, what do you call it? What do you call that thing? Browser. But tonight we're going to talk about Pascagoula. I believe it was Jose Sanchez that requested this a few weeks ago. And I was like, And I saw Pascagoula a few days ago. I'm like, and then I kept seeing it every day. It was even recommended to me. And I'm like, well, that's got to be a sign. So I went with it. Here we are. And I'm doing it a special way tonight. A little different. You don't have to listen to me. That's right, because we did a mini documentary on it. And I'll play the mini documentary of the Pascagoula event with panel members. Yes! So it's a special treat tonight. Thank God I have that thing. That Pascagoula event, Madonna mia, huh? Right? Hey, this is the new time, by the way. No discussion about it, just went with it. I couldn't, 9 Eastern is perfect. This is where I figured we would wind up. If I go back to 7 and go back 3 hours, that's 4 o'clock Pacific. Way too early. I like the 6 and 9. To me, that sounds like fun. So I'm going to take that off the pinned thing there. I'm unpinning it from the top. Now you know. This is the new start time for GUFON. That's it. All right, well, see you guys tomorrow. No, just kidding. We doing the what? Oh, the roll call. Sheet. I got to do a quick one. Martin R., welcome to the show. Solar Marshall's here. Welcome to the show. Al Julian, welcome to the show. Dan Bub. Tic Tac Toe, welcome to the show. Felicia Flores, welcome to the show. Misty OC Dragons, welcome to the show. Rob, what? Welcome to the show. Felix Cordova, welcome to the show. The letter K, welcome to the show. Okay. Coral Ann, welcome to the show. Chuck Bam, welcome to the show. Mystic Q, welcome to the show. Renee Cruisin', Star Hunter, coming to a theater near you. Welcome to the show. Cindy, whoo, welcome to the show. Now, I don't know how to say this name, but I say Zofa. I heard other people say Xofa. Maybe that's it. I'll switch back and forth, because I don't know. Randall Hill, but welcome to the show, Zofa. Exofa. Randall Hill, welcome to the show. David H. Altman. Is Calvin Parker here? What did I just say? What did I just say? I just said how the show's going to happen. No! He's here, but he's not. I don't have him up as a guest. You know what I mean? Did I put guest? No, special report. Not special guest. I think that's how you tell usually, right? In the title of the show. Because I'll put visitor or a guest. You know, Calvin's coming on the show. Or you can check the link in the description as option number 3. It'll tell you, the link in the description, guess who's coming to GUFON? Calvin Parker. Not tonight. No CP. I know, you got to go now, right? But yeah, he's got to go. You got to go. All right, have a good night. Bob Gray, welcome to the show. Mr. Big Feet, welcome to the show. Mikey Gematria, welcome to the show. Just say up yours. What did we used to say when we were kids? It was very popular. Vinnie Barbarino of the TV show Welcome Back, Kotter, who was also John Travolta, the actor. He said it all the time. Up your nose with a rubber hose. Remember? That was his tagline. Chicks dig it. Up your nose with a rubber hose. That made him tough in that school. 158-pound kid. John Haggett, welcome to the show. By the way, just say up yours. Welcome to the show. JP Besson, welcome to the show. Misty OC Dragons, welcome to the show. Earthly Awakenings 82, welcome to the show. First Floor Audio, welcome to the show. That's enough. Area 503, welcome to the show. Gotta say hi. Bad Boy Channel, I can't go without that. Welcome. Ian Burwell, it jumped on me, bro. There you are. Welcome to the show. Mystic Q, if I didn't say it, I'll say it again. Welcome to the show. Sean Cleveland Music, welcome to the show. Eric 81872, welcome to the show. Tem, welcome to the show. Shadi Piernan. Shadi Pamurin. What did I say? Piernan. I was like the chef on, what do you call it? What was that show with the Muppets? The Muppet Show. And then he had the rubber chicken. And he put the rubber chicken. Remember that guy? He was weird looking. He looked real. Because he was. It was a guy with the hands in the gloves. But it was a puppet body. But it looked good. It's good stuff. Good Muppet. Good show. Good times. Laughed a lot back then. Hey, John Haggett. For the $5, we'll just say $5. Buck, buck, buck. Hi to UFO chicken. Oh, buck, buck, buck. Yeah, you get the green one. Hey, and thank you, by the way, for that. He appreciates. He's still laughing, and his brother's laughing. They're both chuckling. That's good. Get it? They're cuckling. I said it wrong. Maha! Funny meatballs! Hurry up! Exofa? Ha! Love it, Rich. The secret of how to pronounce my name is hidden in the About section of my profile. But feel free to keep it a mystery if you want. I'll check it out right now. Let's do it. Let's see if it pops up. Huh? I didn't subscribe? Well, what a jerk. There we go. Let's go to that About section. It's a funny page. I like it a lot. Let's see. I'm in the About section. Lies! Oh, it's pronounced Exofa. Ah. Ain't that so? Right here. X-O-Fa. Ha! Cool, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's cool. Great page. Hey, everybody. Go over to Exofas. Give it a nice thumbs up. What kind of videos you got over there? What do we got? Who are the women in white? My experiences. Do-it-yourself psychic training, remote viewing. Easy aliens, humans. If it was all right. We'll have to check it out. UAP UFO over Dorset, England, UK. Exofa. Whoops, hold on a second. I've got other super chats there. They're going to go away from me. See what I did there? Thank you for the super chat. William Bridges with a $5. The Swedish Chef. That's what it's called. Swedish Chef. Thank you for the $5 super chat, William Bridges. Mucho gusto, generoso, everybody. He's working hard today, the green one. There was one more. I know I saw one more. No, that was it. There was? No, that was it. That's all I can see right now. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Thank you, William Bridges. All right. So, oh, that's short. Oh, Jesus, I thought I saw something on the wall. All right, let's get the, thank you very much, Exofa. Now we know. True Android, welcome to the show. CCM Harley, welcome to the show. Dark Hour Paranormal, what are you doing here? Get back to work, you. You edit. You record. You sleep. Nobody's eating until it's done. Welcome to the show. All right, let's get going. We've got a lot of show to do, and I'm not starting it off with what you think. Pascagoula is going to, take a minute before we get there, because I have other stuff I want to show you. GUFON has changed. Do you know what we're going to do? Even though we're doing it, now we're going to have segments at specific points. I don't know. I don't like it. that way, but at least you'll know what to expect every day. So I think what I've been doing has been working. The middle of the show, like at the top of the hour, I go to the main topic. In the beginning, I show a couple of videos that I think are relevant. And then in the middle end or to the end, news of the day from ufology. But eventually it'll look good when we get there, when we get to that point. I don't know what I'm saying. It'll look good. What does that mean? It means that there will be, like I was talking about, I can't talk. I have so many things I want to do. Like I was going to do this. Coming up on the show, we're going to talk about city skies and UFOs. You guys like UFOs? And then when we're done, we go, all right, let's get to the next topic. Take us there. Whoa, right through the time portal into the next subject. I have to be a producer and be the host and talk to and it's a lot of hats we got to wear. Shut up. I don't know if I can do it, but we'll give it a try. All right? But because when I have to, no, it's never going to work. I just canceled it all out. Done. That'll never happen. Because I won't be using StreamYard anymore. Because OBS is free. StreamYard's $50. So when I get the studio all fixed and all nice, we go to OBS, we stream it in 1080p, even 4K. But it'll replay in 4K. You understand? Oh, the camera I have. Oh no, because I might be using a DSLR. Things are changing. Things are changing. Like they should, right?
Anybody seen Richie? Huh?
What the fuck?
I'm gonna keep coming back until somebody remembers seeing Richie.
I don't understand. I thought he was done with looking for me. He's got a temper. He thinks I killed Bobby Lupo. I don't even know this Lupo character. You understand? Jim Y with a $10 super chat. I have to watch most of this later, but I want to show my support. Oh, well, all right. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Holy mackerel. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. And everybody, that's how the show stays up and running with your support. You know where all the links are, the About section on the homepage, in the description. Oh, by the way, and now we got a new TikTok account. Put up another video just before the show, for the show. But it's interesting. I like TikTok. I don't know why. I see a lot of good things coming from there. And the subscribers have been, I don't know what's going on, but we're getting like a gift right now. So GUFON's on that upward trend. Maybe it is TikTok. I don't know. But we've already got a lot of people watching on TikTok. So don't forget to check that out. Links in the description. We figured out what these two nut jobs were. Remember this? I showed it on the show Saturday. And it was a worse quality than this. And it was apparently overlaid with a Russian guy saying, you got the aliens, and, talking in Russian. And Živ massa mye. Die skotskmatkin jarkoška. Inzikoška. And then he'd go, Inzikoška le aliens. He's thinking it's an alien. Very tall, he says. Very tall. Out of nowhere, he's speaking English. Anyway, this is the Russian Circus Doty, or New England, I don't know. What is it? Moscow State Circus. Yeah, check it out. That's what it is. These are twins. Male and female twins. They're both 6'7". With the heels, they go to 7'5", I think, 7'3". Just what I said they were. See, they got the mittens. They got the gloves. They put. Look at them. Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with our teeth. We're only 22 years old, yet our teeth are tarred. Why are their teeth tarred? From smoking all the cigarettes. As soon as they're born in Russia, they give them a stoli with vodka and a stogie, right? And then they smack you, and then in Russia, you don't cry over there either. You go, don't do that again. You still have the English, but a Russian accent. God forbid I speak Russian. Then now I'd be a spy. Did you know I'm a Russian spy now? Did you hear that rumor? We've been doing this for years. It's not that hard to walk. People look at us. They look how tall we are. They're always asking how tall we are. After a while it gets old, but we do what we do because we're family. See this? Look at them. We're walking tree trunks. That's what we are, with little branches that we have. You call them arms, but you know. Anyway, that's who they are. They're not aliens sneaking around the Moscow subway system looking for their ticket. I can't find my ticket. I don't know where my ticket is. It's not them. Boy, was it fun thinking about it, though. Like, I was like, whoa, what if that's real aliens sneaking around Moscow? Holy shit. Where's our spies? How come our spies didn't catch up on these? Now I know why. All right, what else we got? We got a lot of mo. I got, all right. Well, let's give you a UFO sighting. We got 2 of those tonight. I'll do them as bookends. One in the front, one in the back tonight. Easy. This is a daytime UFO sighting over Cincinnati, Ohio. This is from UFOs. This is for fair use for education purposes. I'm going to show you guys how to spot a UFO. See this right there? That's the UFO. You ready? Eggush.
I done zoomed in as close as I can get.
I thought he was speaking Russian at first. I zoomed as close as this as I could get. And then it turned into a southern drawl. Right? Listen, it sounded like he was Russian. Listen, shh.
Oh my goodness. I done zoomed in as close as I can get.
I zoomed, I can be as close as I, you know.
What's it look like? I can't see it. This is as close as I can see it.
This is why you don't use your mobile device if that's all you have. Great. But, you know, don't be out there just recording this shit and thinking you're a UFO investigator, researcher, sky watcher. All right? You got it. You do not become a UFO sky watcher until you have a legitimate camera. Can't be one of these phone cameras. No. No.
But True Reality TV, we witnessing the UFO, and it's coming our way, slowly but surely.
Oh, wow.
Can't see what it is.
Oh, that's a drone. I'd bet my life on it. I bet my life on it. Oh, I don't feel so good. I think I'm dying. Not. This is a drone, you
coming our way slowly but surely.
Puppet.
It went up. It went straight up. Did you see that?
No. Drone would never go straight up. Drone would go sideways and wobble and might even flip. It's a drone. It's a drone.
Okay, it went up farther.
What if it isn't a drone?
Hold on.
Wow, this is great.
Aiming in my eyes like a mug. I can't see nothing no more.
I love this guy.
Crazy, and I don't see it at all.
I saw it.
Oh, I see it. But the light is big. Oh, okay, there it is. Come on now. So if I was to tell you, I was just about to bring up UFOs to this person.
I don't know. What do you think? Oh, look at. Oh, I remember. This is old. This is old. This is a redo. Yeah, this is a redo. I've seen this already. Yeah, it's a drone. Watch. Now it's gonna go by the buildings.
This is Cincinnati. Make a tuck.
I remember this.
Flat, straight.
That's why it's a drone. Watch.
You don't see it going towards the bridge?
It's not a drone? That's
Now I got
it?
a light on it. It might be a drone.
Wait a second.
You see it?
No, I see it on camera, but
It's right here.
So he's looking one way. She's looking. She's like, it's over here, you idiot.
It's a drone.
Ah! I guess
is
that gives it
flying in the
away
air right
too. The women are always right in this field. Always have a woman next to you if you can. Always. But they go in the house after like they see you see something. They'll never stay out there more than 45 minutes to an hour. So take it though. Because every time my wife was with me, she'd be like, Richie, it's a, can't you see? And I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm like, boy, I'm really stupid. No. You know what it is? And that only happened in the first couple of months. You get blind. You want something to be real so bad. But when you have somebody who doesn't believe in it, my wife didn't believe in it at all. Until I started catching some really cool stuff. She's like, wow, I really don't know, babe. It's wild. But this is an interesting one. And then it turns into the girlfriend, wife, spouse, friend, sister, mother, saying with confidence, it's a drone. He's like, for real though? It's a drone. You sure though?
now I got a light on it. It might be a drone.
It's coming our way. You see it?
No, I see it on camera, but
It's right here.
Wait, do you see it? No. I got it on camera though, but he's looking right at something. I think they're talking about two different things. There's no more, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a drone.
it's a UFO, folks.
Oh my goodness.
I done zoomed in as close as I can get.
What's it look like?
I can't
Your
see
sister's
it.
ass.
This is as close as I can see it. But True Reality TV, we witnessing the UFO, and it's coming our way,
It
slowly
is.
but surely. Can't see what it is, but it's not playing.
You could tell it's a drone when it's moving upward. It is. It's going like left to right just a little. Because when they go up, you know, they're fighting the wind, and there's always some little instability. You can see it, even though the camera's shaking. You can see it. All right, I'm a believer that's a drone. I could be wrong. All right, let's watch a video of our good friend Richard Doty. This is from Mystery Wire, February this last year, where he says UFO threat, a legitimate concern. Former Air Force disinformation agent from the Laughlin Mega Conference with George Knapp.
Mechanism by which we can learn from UFOs, wherever they're from, and try
Hey.
to go after that technology. I mean, you've read those documents, you've heard those stories.
Yeah, there is. I think you know, it starts with the UFO reporting center. I mean,
wow, that is a lot of stammering, stuttering. He was really weird right there, searching for words. Like, that should just come right out. That's how you know this guy's a POS. Still, to this day, with his little Hitler mustache. I don't know who said it. Who said it? I think it was on Alien Scientist's show. The reason he has his mustache this way is that is the Air Force cut. That's how you know what branch you're in, by what type of mustache you have. If you have any facial hair, you have to cut it a certain way, whether you're in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, and the Space Force. Yeah, I guess a lot of guys don't wear the mustache because it's too Hitler-ish. Yeah, they should make him go right outside the lip. They go right to the corner. Go.
You call in and report UFOs. What they need to do from that point, it needs to be properly funded with qualified, experienced, and trained civilian researchers or investigators.
Civilian? Did you hear that? I was impressed he just said that. I didn't catch that the first time. Civilian researchers. He may be full of crap, but he does tell the truth at the same time. That's what's so vexing. Vexing? I can't believe that he said that. I can only play a few more seconds.
To go out and actively investigate those sightings in areas. Right now, it's not being done. MUFON comes days or weeks later, and they don't have the, number one, I've dealt with MUFON in the last couple years, and those investigators, they're just not trained like they should.
Like they should be. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. He just contradicted himself, did he not? In a way. What did he first say? We need to have civilians. All right. We put the civilians in MUFON. I hate MUFON. I don't know if that's even the right way to say it. I guess it's GUFON would be GUFON, you know, if that's the case. Well, anyway, then he says the civilians that are working for MUFON, an organization, are not trained properly. So let's get the civilians and not have them trained properly, investigate UFOs. Do you see what he just did? We need to pack it with civilians. And then he just 2 seconds later says, the civilians suck at MUFON. They don't know shit. Anyway, watch the rest of that. That's part 3 from Mystery Wire. UFO threat, a legitimate concern, with Richard Hoity-toity Doty. We're coming up on the Pascagoula event. Check this out. Remember this? Isn't that from a video game? This game was out before 90% of the people in the comments were born, and the graphics are making them think it's real. It is from a game. Pretty cool. I thought that was fun to watch. That's all. That's all. This is good. This is the power of the weather. This is a dust devil. It looks... That's real, man. Watch this. Oh no, that house! Oh! Wow. Oh my God. That would suck. Stop driving! Turn around! What are you doing? Turn around, dude. The breathing earth. You know why this happens, right? Hey, Mario UFO. There you go, buddy. Says, hi, Rich. Hey, what happened? $2, 2-pounder. What's up, Mario UFO? Thank you for the super chat. Mucho gusto, generoso. Welcome to the show, so. Yeah, that is the roots of the trees lifting up the earth. It's just the way the ground lays on the ground. It's the way the topsoil is being lifted up. It's windy, so the branches are moving the trees from side to side, and it's kind of lifting the ground at the same time. Pretty cool. That would be creepy if you'd never seen that before. Oh no. Oh, that really had no roots. Look at that. Whoa. Oh my God. Wow, look at that. That's amazing. That was cool. I didn't think it ended right there. That was pretty cool. One more?
COVID-19 in the building!
Oh, I don't know if I should play this.
I am COVID-19. Come on, show me some respect, Disease Street. Kind of a big deal. I'm a rock star. All over the world. Now I finally made it to the big times. Made it to the big leagues. No one believed in me.
Morning, neighbor.
Who are you?
Spanish flu. Lived here since 1918.
I'm COVID. Kind of bigger than you. So, adios, amigo.
I don't speak Spanish.
Bonjour, Spanish flu. Hello, neighbor. Welcome to Disease Street.
Mr. and Mrs. Herpes.
Oh, call me Oral. This is my wife here, Jenadal.
Don't invite them over. They never leave.
I'm COVID-19. They're herpes. Little below me. All right, so adios, muchacho.
You're supposed to be from China. Do you speak Chinese?
No, but I do the voice pretty well.
I wouldn't.
All right. Look you.
All right. I don't think, I don't know. I feel weird. I'll put the link in the description. You can watch the rest. We got to get going here. Whoa, there's another video? No. We'll do that later. However, we got a few minutes left before we get to the Pascagoula. Avi Loeb, right? He wants to put together the Galileo project. I mean, I guess he has already, but you know, to distribute these telescopes all around the world. And exactly, not that funny. It was funny. The COVID thing was funny. I'll play it at the end of the show. It gets funny. All right? I'll play it now. No. But Avi Loeb got started a couple of years ago regarding Oumuamua. That's when he started coming out and saying that is most likely a light sail ship, an alien ship, or an alien device that's coming in, observing us. It has been observing us, It acted weird when it went around the sun. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. It sped up when it's supposed to slow down, and slowed down when it's supposed to speed up. So the script was flipped, and Avi Loeb, in my opinion, took advantage of that and is now trying to say, we need to do this. Get a telescope, point it at a place where we know there's a planet, where there's a possible Goldilocks zone, and there's a planet in there. Just like here on Earth, we're in the Goldilocks zone. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right to have liquid water and all the other stuff. So that's their goal, is to point it right in those areas to see if there's ships flying around. Isn't that it? It's a great idea. Great idea. I don't know if it'll work, though. Because you're pointing all these telescopes in strategic parts, right? But you have all that space in between. Millions of light years. Millions? Lots of light years. Hey, man, I think what's going to happen is they're going to see something that they think is an alien ship, and it's probably just some cool-looking rock or asteroid or whatever, which is still cool. And they're going to say, I have this silly feeling that they're going to do something that SETI couldn't do. Yes, I know SETI's radio waves, and really the radio waves wouldn't be that far compared to shooting a laser beam light all the way at another planet or whatever telescope. I get it. But Avi Loeb, I think, is trying to take advantage of a situation. I don't trust him. Don't know why. There's just something not right about this. Now, this lady on Jolly is going to be on Jimmy Church in a couple of days, right? On the 25th? Wednesday. I'm going to listen to that show. I'm sure Jimmy's not going to ask the hard questions. But if what she does comes to fruition and she gets the evidence in that cave, alien evidence, and she brings it to us, well then, the Galileo project should end. But anyway, Avi Loeb, he's encouraging people. He's giving a good message. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with what he's trying to do. I'm just skeptical. That's all. Anyway, here he is talking with Jaime. This is a pretty good interview, which I hope you enjoy. And then we'll get to the Pascagoula. Hey, come on.
One reason is that I don't find a lot of intelligence here on Earth. And I'm looking at the sky, perhaps there. But the real reason is there was an object discovered in 2017, in October, that looked nothing like we have seen before. It was the first object that was spotted near the Earth from outside the solar system, what we call an interstellar object. And it was discovered by a telescope in Hawaii, and the name that was given to it is Oumuamua, which means a scout in the Hawaiian language.
All right, so let's get it started and take it out to former physicist, retired software engineer, Alex Gershowitz. Alex, what do you think of Avi Loeb's statements?
Hi, Brent. Hi, Blake. And thank you to Jaime for having a great interview with Avi Loeb. So, I've met Avi on several occasions, and I can tell you a couple of things. He's a very serious scientist, and he's a really nice guy. But he is a serious scientist, and we should listen to what he says. I haven't read his book. I haven't gotten it yet. I will read it though. The information that he presents, however, during the interview is pretty cogent. And in fact, I agree with him with everything he says, even to the point where we should be careful not to throw things away because they may be coming from civilizations that don't exist anymore.
And at first, astronomers thought it's probably a comet, but it didn't have any cometary tail, no gas around it. And then as it was spinning around, it looked as if it changes the amount of reflected sunlight by a factor of 10. So it was at least projected on the sky, at least 10 times longer than it is wide. And then the best model for the changing light from it was that of a flat object, not cigar-shaped, the way we saw in some cartoons, but actually pancake-shaped. And most intriguingly, the object was pushed by an extra force in addition to the force of gravity that the sun was exerting on it. And this force declined with distance, as inversely as distance squared. And the only thing I could think of is that it's because of reflected sunlight.
Based on conclusion on a couple of factors. One of them was the shape of the object, that it was flat like a pancake. And the other was that nobody could figure out how that object was formed. I just read that last April, two astronomers from California published a paper outlining how Oumuamua could be formed, and concluded that, and theorized that there could be millions of these things. And I think most astronomers now believe that the thing was oblong like a cigar, not flat like a pancake. So, having said all that, as Avi said, until we get a picture of one of these things and conclusively figure out that it's not a rock, then it's whatever it was. And, you know, I agree with Avi. Thanks.
Interesting thoughts there, Alex, and it's
so pretty interesting, right? Very interesting. I'm glad I thought of playing that because Avi Loeb is now being looked at more seriously than anybody because of who he is. Look, don't go by me, but I'm a little soured on anything, you know. It's another way to try to look for stuff, and that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to look for more of these things that don't look right. More or less, they're looking for structures. They're going to be looking for things that you don't normally see, like round rocks or asteroids flying through the sky. So Oumuamua was not flat like a pancake. It was more cigar-shaped, cylindrical than anything else. All right.
Do that calculation. I don't have any footprint on social media because I promised my wife when we got married that I will not have any account on Twitter, Facebook, and so on.
I'm not going to have you cheating on me with some online hooker. Okay, no problem at all.
And I don't care how many likes I have on social media. I just focus on the evidence. And just like basketball coaches tell their team members, keep your eyes on the ball, not on the audience. And the ball here is the evidence, and it looks very unusual. And I call it an anomalous object, something that shows anomalies. And whenever I see anomalies in science, I try to explain them as something different from what we have anticipated. And the same here. And I don't care if other people don't follow that or ridicule it. It doesn't really matter. If we had evidence that shows that I'm wrong, I would accept it.
Just look at the evidence. They're afraid to talk about this evidence, and that's what's Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Mr. Big Feet with a $2 super chat. Maybe answer to Arecibo. Voyager message. Yeah, maybe. Because Arecibo's gone. Voyager left the solar system. Right? It'll be exciting. Thank you, Mr. Big Feet, for the $2 super chat and good comment. One thing I would like is a way to know if somebody is really telling you the truth. We do not have the perfect detection of a liar, somebody telling the truth. There's no perfect sensor. There's no perfect way to analyze somebody's body. It's just not admissible in court for that reason. But we want to say, well, if they tell the truth, most likely it's the truth. Well, you can't. Lie detectors are wrong. The people asking the questions on the lie detector tests are very important on how somebody answers them, whether they're being truthful. Do they feel intimidated? Do they feel relaxed? There's a lot that goes into those lie detectors, and a lot of it has to do with the person giving it. I bring that up because Calvin Parker and who is the other guy? Charles Davis? I can't remember. They had an experience unlike anything I've ever heard. And I think last year, Calvin Parker had another book or a book or some sort of something that got him talking to everybody. And I was going to get him on the show. And I don't know what happened. Just kind of went. I think I started doing stuff with Third Phase of Moon, and then I just didn't do, like, I wasn't in the mood to interview anybody, I think, and somehow. But anyway, here's a little documentary that was made last year. It's a mini doco with panel members from Third Phase of Moon about their abduction. So instead of me going over all the details, it's right here in the pudding. So with that being said, you know you're going to get good audio, you know you're going to get quality, and go.
And Charles Hickson experienced something incredible
Charles Hickson.
while fishing. What happened to them next is absolutely extraordinary. And let me tell you, this happened way before the Travis Walton abduction case scenario. We have law enforcement that got involved and asked the two gentlemen in regard to their abduction experience and had and conducted lie detector test. They passed with flying colors. This is the special report right here at Third Phase of Moon in regards to this historical abduction case. Let's just get to it. We have Richard Giordano along with my brother and Dark Hour Paranormal going over this. Buckle up, everybody.
Last October, in the quiet Mississippi town of Pascagoula, two local men confronted authorities with a rather bizarre story. Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker told of a strange craft landing near their fishing site and of being taken aboard by three unearthly creatures.
This is one of my favorite stories, abduction stories, alien UFO stories of all time. You have got two people who were abducted, Charlie Hickson, Calvin Parker, and then the story was kind of corroborated by a guy named Larry Booth, who actually saw the UFO that night. He saw the lights, He saw it spinning around on the outer edge, different colored lights. There was a dome on top with a light on top.
Side of the pier with their feet, you know, over toward the river, fishing in the river. And the fish still wasn't biting, so I told Calvin, I said, well, you know, we might as well go home. But I guess that was when I heard it. It was some kind of zipping sound. And when I turned around, in this area out here, about 40 or 50 feet out there, there was some kind of crab, you know. It looked like it's going to come right onto the ground.
At the time, 42-year-old Charles Hickson, along with his friend Calvin Parker, who was 19 at the time, experienced something extraordinary. But what's incredible is that they didn't keep it to themselves. They actually went to the police department to report their sighting. Why would they do that? Most people nowadays kind of keep this sighting, this kind of stuff to themselves, but they went to the police. This is extraordinary.
They talked about seeing a light. They were fishing, okay? Calvin and Charlie. And they saw this light in the sky above them. And it was really, really bright, according to Calvin. He said it was so bright, it blinded him. He couldn't even see anything, really. And as soon as his eyes started to come back to him and adjust, he saw these three huge, you know, like football-type looking beings.
But it came on down and hovered about a foot and a half or 2 feet off of the ground. But we didn't know what to do, you know. The river behind us and that out there, not knowing what it was. So, and then before we had time to really do anything, it seemed like an opening appeared. And toward the end, it was, you know, toward us. And the blue light, it had blue flashing lights as it was, you know, approaching the ground, but then they went out. And when the opening appeared, some source of light came from the inside. It was just almost blinding.
He said he really couldn't tell exactly what the shape was, but he saw that the lights were spinning around multicolored. So the fact that Calvin Parker and Charlie Hickson were being abducted at the same time Larry Booth saw the UFO really gives this story a lot of credibility.
Sheriff Diamond, can you tell me just what happened that night?
No, sir, I can't. All I can tell you is there was two men came into the sheriff's department approximately 8:30 and 9 o'clock. They were all excited, upset, wanting to climb the walls, hysterical, crying. That's actually all I know is what happened. And as far as me seeing what happened, I don't know.
The two were even sent to Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi to make sure they weren't radioactive.
It's a circus, media circus.
Within days, the story went global.
But since I was down there, and since I was a physician and several other scientists and investigators were asked to consult and look into the situation, I was asked would I mind if I would be present, and I said I wouldn't mind at all. And while it is still very difficult for us to believe that a spaceship landed and that robot-type creatures came out and actually took these two people into the spaceship, these men, in my opinion, believe that they saw this and that they were being honest in reporting what they have reported.
Of course, we could see them in the opening coming from, you know, when they started out to craft. But
Did you think it was people coming out at first?
Well, they had. I kind of thought it was people at first, you know, off like that. But of course, when they appeared there in front of me, it was the most shock I've ever had in my life.
What did you see?
They had metallic-looking suit on. They had pointed ears, pointed nose, like, you know, like a cone that came out. And the next thing he knew, as soon as his eyes were adjusting, they were right there on top of them.
But it seemed to me when they came out that doorway, or that opening or whatever it was, then just almost instantly they were right there on us. And their arms, they had arms, and I saw the arm moving here and in the shoulders, but they had weld. I mean, their fingers were weld, and then they had something like a thumb, and they were like this. Mm-hmm. Well, they were shorter than me. I'd say about 5'2" or 3", and they didn't have a neck. The head, it seemed to come directly to their shoulders. And it had something, it came out to a point about where a nose would be. and on each side the ears. And I believe that they looked like they were a little longer on the ears than the nose. But still pointed the ears. They were still pointing, yeah.
They felt their bodies being lifted, weightless, and the next thing they knew, they were inside this UFO. Pretty amazing how quick these three beings came up upon them. It was like as soon as you're adjusting, they're there, from quite a distance away. Like they hovered, he said they floated on the ground, above the ground. The UFO also hovered above the ground, maybe about a foot or two off the ground. So these beings had the ability to levitate and move towards them extremely fast and take them above in the sky or into a ship or wherever they were. It's pretty amazing to hear how that happened. He was scared.
They had me one on this arm like this, and on the other one, they had my other arm like that. And I just seemed to lift up to the same height they were off the ground, and we just moved into the craft.
Calvin Parker was really scared. He was only 19 at the time in 1973. And Charlie Hickson was a little bit older. But when these guys got, when this event happened, Calvin was out of his mind, scared, didn't know what to do.
Calvin Parker, I was questioning him, and at one time he wanted to climb the wall. That's how nervous and how shook up he was.
So what did he do? They called the cops and gave this report to the police. And when they're at the station talking to the cop goes, all right, I'm gonna leave a recorder running without them knowing. And I want to see if these guys are lying, because he can't tell. He thinks they're telling the truth, or they, drank a little bit too much or whatever. And the story was being told with such conviction that they had to catch him in the lie. He knew they were lying. The cop thought, I knew they were lying. There's no way this story really happened. So he leaves the recorder running, and they're talking, not knowing they're being recorded.
We questioned them at length, and then we left the room and recorded every all the conversation they had. Recorded between the two of them. And one of them kept wanting to pray. And he said, after all I went through on this earth, he said, why should I have to see something like this?
What we find interesting in this story is, in fact, that the police actually took these guys' words rather serious. They were kind of thinking maybe this could have been a joke, or maybe these guys had maybe a little too much to drink. But again, how the police took it serious and actually gave them lie detector tests.
That is interesting. We'll talk about that. And Dorothy Hawkins, welcome to the show with a $5 super chat. Just pure money. Just throwing it at GUFON for support. No message, no sticker, just take the money, Rich. Thank you very much, Dorothy. Welcome. And mucho gusto generoso. Now, the story is extremely interesting. What Blake just said, Brent just said. Right? Why am I yelling? Number one, why did the cops take this story so seriously? Cops don't give lie detector tests. Nobody was moited. Huh? Nobody was moited. Nobody went missing. It's odd. It's because the story was being corroborated by the other witnesses. And they wanted to know, I bet they wanted to know, the police, that if they were abducted, maybe there's a threat. Or, like I see in the chat room, a lot of people saying, hey, LSD was really pure back then. True, but not these guys. All right. We're almost done. Halfway? All right. It's a good story. It's amazing. These figures, as you heard me say, were really big, athletic looking, which is strange. all right. It sounds silly. They had points coming out here, long noses. They looked like football players. And they just hovered over. Right? That's all they were doing. They were just hovering by. They said they hovered over to them, and the next thing they knew, yeah, something like that. That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. There you go. That's what they did. Very funny. They just hovered over, grabbed them, got in the ship, went wherever they went, and then dropped them off later. This is a real good story. Maybe I'll get Calvin on next week.
And brought him in for questioning.
We'll do an update.
It's something that we really don't see in today's world. Again, we look at the media on how they cover this. Back in the day, they were really into it. You could see how they documented this case file. It's not really done like that in today's media. They kind of try to make it a joke, kind of like tongue-in-cheek. What's going on here?
In 1975, by and large, you wouldn't really want your name attached to such a story. Unlike today, where it might bring a momentary bit in the spotlight, giving some people reason to hoax. Now, again, going back to this just being a genuine experience, whether it's exactly the way they said it unfolded or if something else had occurred, we may never know. But the fact of the matter is, both of these men didn't hesitate to try to find some resolve for what they just immediately went through. And I think, again, that lends to the credibility of their story.
Now, inside, how did they lay you out? Do you remember how it happened?
Yes.
Like a fish dinner.
I didn't see any tables or chairs or anything in there. I'm not saying it wasn't in there because the light was almost blinding, but I didn't see any. And when they carried me inside, they seemed to just lean me back, you know. And this eye, well, I keep referring to it as an eye, and it moved up in front of me about this close. And it started right at my eyes, looking me right in the eye. And it seemed it hesitated there for a few seconds, and it just started moving over my entire body.
Calvin. Dude, that's creepy. That's creepy. I don't want to see me twice. That's creepy. Can you imagine just sitting there? They lean you back, and then they have this optical thing, and it comes right up to your face. And it looks at you. That one didn't work too well, and it looks right at you. And it looks right at you, and you're looking at it, and it's doing this. It's checking you out. Right? And then it starts checking you out, man. Right? It starts checking you out. When Calvin Parker tells that story, I don't see any deception. That guy's telling the truth. He believes what happened to him happened. Whether it happened that way, even he says he's not so sure about some things because the light was so blinding. I mean, he sounds like he's about as honest as anybody could be. That's why this story is amazing. It's the way they tell the story. It's just real. I think it's one of the real ones.
A few seconds, and it just started moving over my entire body.
Look at this thing. What is that? Is that his hair? Or is that a... Calvin's, really scared and he's nervous. I'm glad I didn't wear that shirt tonight. He doesn't know what to do. And Charlie's like, look, when we get done with this and if you need anything to help you sleep, I can help you out and hook you up with something. They were talking about, if these guys don't believe us, what do we do? This is unbelievable what's happened. They were talking about the event. They weren't saying, they're buying the story. I can't believe they're buying it. We're gonna be rich. We're gonna sell so many books. We're gonna be on TV, and none of that happened.
Can you tell me about the lie detector test?
Well, so that was run by Pilkington. Was it Pilkington?
Pennington.
Lie detector tests that Calvin took 3 of them and passed them all because the lie detector company, I think it was called Pennington, couldn't believe it. that they were listening to a guy talk about being abducted and was passing the test with flying colors. Talk about rare. To me, that's amazing.
That they run this type of test about 6 times a day. And when they were asked to come over here to talk to these people, they had in their mind that it was just a big joke. And if I understand it correctly, they ran one test on Mr. Hickson. The machine showed that he was telling the truth.
Calvin Parker passed 3 lie detector tests with flying colors. And the company, Pennington, I think that's the name of the company that did the lie detector test, they thought their equipment was failing. 3 different tests, aced them all.
Then they run another one, and then the examiner, he began to wonder himself. So he ran the 3rd test, and he believed just what Mr. Hickson had told him.
Now, when you're listening to Charles talk, you're going to notice that as he's remembering the event, the details aren't contrived, they're not over dramatic. He doesn't remember which way the wind was blowing that night. Seems in line with somebody who had experienced something, but was totally in the moment of that experience, not necessarily looking at it from the outside saying, how can I identify what I went through later on?
When they brought me from the craft along this area here, and they didn't drop me, they just released me back to the ground. And I fell. I don't know why my legs were weak. I don't know why it was the fright or what it was, but I fell onto the ground. And that's when I seen Calvin. He's standing right over here in this area, and he was standing facing the river with his arms outstretched like that, just like he was staring at something.
Now, the body language itself seems very natural, as if, again, recalling a genuine memory. And perhaps there is a twinge of reluctance in Charles' voice as he begins to talk about what he went through.
At the time, Charles Hickson was the only person who came forward to the newspapers to speak about his story. But what's amazing now, 45 years later, Calvin Parker, due to health issues, wants to tell his story. And we've gained contact with Calvin. He's going to be joining us here on Third Phase Moon very soon. But here's some of his testimony.
We pulled up and I noticed there was postage signs there. And I said, Charlie, maybe we don't need to go fishing here. He said, no, that's fine. And that's when I noticed some blue hazy lights reflecting coming across from my back, out across the water. So I stood up thinking that I was going to go to jail for trespassing.
I find it fascinating. After 45 years, people still are fascinated with this story. And so am I. I give Calvin Parker a lot of encouragement for him to actually come forward and tell his story for such a long time after his friend passed away, and now he has the courage to come on Third Phase Moon and talk about his extraordinary event.
To be honest, regardless of what these guys have said, I think neither of them wanted to be involved in this experience from the very beginning. In fact, as we go through the case, the surprise lies specifically with those individuals, perhaps even more so than the ones who are on the peripherals in the way of the community or law enforcement.
Charlie was scared out of his mind. He wanted to tell everybody. He was scared. Or didn't want to tell everybody. He was scared, didn't know what to do. Calvin was a little older, so I believe him. Whatever they thought they saw happen. Now, we can't go out and say, because it was the 70s, they were on LSD. I've seen 200 jokes about LSD. You guys are amazing. The 60s. If we talk about sightings from the 60s, it's all weed and LSD, a lot of pills. Led Zeppelin. Sightings are only credible when? When are the best UFO reports? Before television. before TV. If you think about their story, it's pretty weird. It could have been made up. I don't think it was. And Dark Hour said it just like I said it. The body language is, it seems like they're telling the truth. They're telling it effortlessly. The story is just coming out of them with... Look, it's not that easy to act the way they did. We're looking at the older footage, the original stuff. We're not looking at them talking today where they've told the story who knows how many times to where you become numb to it. Hell, I've told the Phoenix Lights story so many times I could make it my own at this point. You know what I mean? These guys have the original interviews, which I appreciate it. That's what makes this all the more credible. The lie detector tests, everything. The way they were, the police, the sheriff left the microphone running in a drawer, and when he left, he was hoping that these two guys were going to talk about how they were pulling off. Yeah, they believe our story. We're going to write books. They're buying it. They're buying it. That didn't happen. When he came back and listened to the recording, they were talking about how scared Charlie was. How he, how if he needed any help getting to sleep, I got some, sleeping pills or something he can give him. They were talking about that. They weren't talking about a hoax. Yeah, this is one of the best ones out there of all time, for sure. Hey, Lord Ludicrous Plaid with $2 super chat. The best stories and accounts are pre-internet. Ah, yeah. Pre-internet. But just to go better than that, before TV. Yeah, they had radio shows where they had you talking about Mars invading Earth and, and all that stuff. But once TV came out, it became universal, these stories. Everybody had a story about being abducted back in the 50s. And the real, like, not till 1962, 63, people were just going nuts. That was probably the first UFO boom, right? After 1950, around 52, 55-ish. Man, times have not changed. Let's finish this up. What time is it? Oh, yeah, we started later.
I seen three bulky-looking creatures coming toward us, and they was probably 4.5, 5 foot tall. They built like football players, but I noticed they kind of moved mechanical-wise, and they was floating off the ground.
Now, in the most recent interview that we see, it's only Calvin who's left with us to, again, reiterate this experience that he went through. Nothing's changed. The story corroborates with what Charles had said 45 years ago. And again, the body language when Calvin is talking seems to be completely natural.
By the time we stood up and turned around, they was there on us all at one time. So two of them got a hold of Charlie, one of them got a hold of myself, and instantly I felt like that I just got relaxed.
It's interesting being in the field for over a decade and talking to hundreds of eyewitnesses and abductees. They describe alien grays, draconians, the tall whites. Parker and this gentleman's experience, they talk about this kind of robot creature that has this style of not being human. In fact, it being a robot itself. They talk about the pointy ears and the pointy nose. Have you ever heard of a creature or a robot like this in an alien abduction experience?
That's very interesting to think about, considering whether or not these two individuals have been lying all this time. I just don't see that being a possibility at this point.
There was an examination room, what I call it, and the old big ugly creature.
All right, let's stop for 1 second and answer this question from Paula Burr. Interesting. And I have an answer, believe it or not. I have an answer for everything. If people are so dang influenced by movies, why didn't people say aliens they saw looked like E.T. after that movie? Nope. They still usually said grays. Just saying. You want to know why nobody used E.T.? Because E.T. looked ridiculous. That's the answer. E.T. looked silly. Aliens didn't, and the head raise up like that, and nobody would admit. We were too smart in 1982 already to do that. I'm talking in the 50s, Jack. I didn't say 70s, 80s. I said in the 50s or up till 62 or 3. You heard what I said, but you didn't listen. Two totally different things. But I like your style, and I had the answer. I knew exactly where to go with that one. Polar Burr, you get a nice couple of squeezes. Thank you very much. Oh my God, yes, I saw it. Elena. $5, 5 pounds. It's a super sticker. Let's take a look. Thank you. My good. Oh, it's a lady coming out of a cloud waving hello with her beautiful. You know who that is? You know who that woman is? Isn't that the one that was on Dr. Greer's documentary? The one with the white hair? That's her. What's her name? Oh, I can't remember her hair. Well, her name. Thank you very much for the $5 or 5 pounder. Grazie, mucho grucho, sincerare, Elena Ianu. What did I just say? Yeah. E.T.'s too cute. Yeah, you're right. I saw that in the chat. I don't know who said it. E.T.'s too cute. Not scary enough. Gotta be scary. Gotta scare the crap out of me.
It brought me in. He took me and laid me
Good
on
stuff,
the
guys.
examination table.
And Billy Meyer's 100% true.
I couldn't move or anything. All I could do was
We'll
look,
find out.
And there was something about the size of a deck of cards.
This is a very classic case of an invasive examination abduction overall, and no message for humanity was received by either Charles or Calvin. In reviewing their story, I have to admit, I believe that whoever they were taken by certainly had a different agenda than perhaps what we're seeing today in the way of involving the human race in some of the awareness expansion and perhaps whatever these extraterrestrials are bringing us in for.
But also, you.
I got it. I don't know. Why isn't it up there? Okay, thank you. Yeah. GG Abby Lynn with a $5 super sticker. I saw the request. There it is. It's the Ninja Fox with his Japan headband on. Grazie, Gigi Abilin. Grazie. Mucho gusto, generoso, Gigi Abilinso. Grazie. E.T., how did I do E.T.? That wasn't that how he did it? I can't do it like I did the first time. It has to be natural. E.T.'s not easy to do. I think I did it right, though. You could always rewind. Should send have to rewind. Thank you, Dorothy Hawkins, Gigi, Abby Lynn, and everybody tonight. Super chatting away. Keeping GUFON alive and kicking. We do this full time because that's the job. We are now the news source for ufology. Thanks, Elena. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, we are the daily news source. That's what we're going to be, officially, starting tonight. What do we got here? Oh, this gets good. All right, let's watch the rest. 2
Universal
minutes.
in alien abduction stories, they do speak of the telepathic communication between them. And then they said the female-like alien being kind of gave this calming response in a telepathic description. That's kind of fascinating because it's kind of universal in alien abduction experiences.
That came out of the ceiling, and it hovered about a foot
It
in front
hoovered?
of my eyes, and then it went to the right side of my head, and it clicked, went behind my head, and it clicked, went to the left side of my head and clicked, and then straight to the front, and then it shot back up in the ceiling. And that's when I noticed some kind of little ruffling noise, and this more feminine looking creature came out. She looked completely different than the
When we follow up with the law enforcement agent that was present at the time of this confession, if you will, today, again, his story is just as nebulous as it was back then. He still doesn't have an explanation for exactly what these men went through.
He said, yeah, I've had something happen, but said, you gonna laugh if I tell you what it is. I said, look, fella, go ahead and tell me, I'm busy. What happened? He said, I got picked up by a UFO. I laughed. He said, I told you he was gonna laugh.
Both of them went through multiple tests.
Thanks, Felix.
In respect to lie detectors, and of course, they were put under hypnosis, and in no way did they seem to be feigning this experience or recollection of what had happened.
It's hard to imagine going back 45 years ago and hearing the testimony from Calvin Parker and Charles Hickson. Back in the day, most people kind of kept this stuff to themselves. What's interesting is the lie detector operator and the police department sheriff still have no explanation to what these men encountered. Is it possible that they were taken by alien beings? Is it possible that it was all a lie? If you go back 45 years ago, these good old boys, why would they make something like this up?
And they were upset. I figured they'd say, well, look, we got these guys food, but it wasn't that. They were still. The boy especially was upset.
The men would take lie detector tests and pass. Ufologists and researchers flew in right away to interview and hypnotize the two, concluding they did experience something traumatic.
Calvin does mention that he believed that he saw one of these beings to be feminine and perhaps looking much different than the others.
what I call a robot, because he moved like a robot, just mechanical wise. She looked kind of feminine looking and had fingers, regular fingers, and all. Come over and pinched me on the side of the cheek. And then she took her finger and run down my throat and got behind that little thing that hangs down back there and tried to come up in my nasal cavity.
Oh my God.
And that was when it started hurting and I started choking and I got scared. And she just kind of telepathically told me, you know, don't be afraid, we're not going to hurt you.
Again.
Don't be afraid, we're not going to hurt you. You've got your finger on my punching bag.
We've often speculated that there may be some sort of drone or worker beings that are actually in place of what we believe something more sentient, and yet here we have an example of perhaps some sort of leadership from this overarching female entity, perhaps not as mechanical but more organic than her counterparts that are surrounding them.
Had some legs, some interest, particularly years and years and years later.
Like Captain Ryder, Brabner too believes something happened that night, but he isn't sure what.
I do not think they made it up in the sense that they created it out of whole cloth.
There are so many people involved in this case, and the stories have not changed over time. Everything has remained consistent, right down to the detail. For a couple of guys to keep a hoax, it's more believable than perhaps a community of people to do the same over such a period of time. That being said, Charles and Calvin were clearly impacted by this experience, and as we can see now, On this follow-up, not for the better.
Oh.
You can't really pin everything down. You don't really know. And that's the point I'm holding out. I don't know what happened. I know something happened.
The story...
It's amazing. Thanks to Felix Cordova. I think that was him. And I think I said Jose Sanchez, but it was Felix Cordova, right? Who sent that story? Who reminded me to do this? Anyway, one of those two. That's an amazing story. I love good old yarn like that. Nothing like a good abduction story to make you believe. Look, we needed that. That was like a shot in the arm for me. That's going to propel this week into more interesting subject matter, yeah? You guys don't care. Do you? You care? All right. It's a good story. And if you think about it, they didn't get rich off of it. And Michael said it right. Was it Michael? No, I think Brent or Blake said it. Yeah. Why would a couple of good old boys out of nowhere just bring up aliens? Hey, man, there was another witness who saw the UFO at that time, not that far away. So there's some corroboration on that story with other people who had no idea of Calvin Parker and Charlie Hickson. They saw it. I just want to know, why did they have to give a lie detector test? It's really odd, don't you think? Good story. Good stuff. What? Oh, yeah, I guess we're changing topics. Whoa, we're going. We're there. Yeah. So let's move on, shall we? The biggest rivalry in sports, before you get excited and it's sports, just watch very closely at what sport this is. Because I can't blow it up any bigger than what it is, but it's pretty freaking amazing what you're about to see.
You got the Red Sox, the Yankees, Packers, the Bears, and then you got these two, the rivalry of the century.
They're using their heads.
Ball, two heads, jumping around like fucking seals at SeaWorld. But they are two of the best at what they do, and they are just getting started.
Look at this.
Look at this. He's on top of the fucking table, deflecting that one with his forehead.
Oh my God.
The back of his
Oh.
head. Holy shit.
Oh, man. Yeah? Watch it again. I'm telling you, you've never seen anything like it. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen.
The Red Sox, the Yankees, Packers, the Bears, and then you got these two, the rivalry of the century. One ball, two heads, jumping around like fucking seals at SeaWorld. But they are two of the best at what they do, and they are just getting started. Look at this. He's on top of the fucking table, deflecting that one with his forehead off the back of his head. Holy shit.
That is unreal. Oh, I can't believe that actually happened. Right here on GUFON. Right here on GUFON. You'd never see that on Jimmy Church. Hey, where are we going? Oh, it's another topic. What are we doing now? Oh. Reddit? I've got something from Reddit? Oh, it's a sighting. Somebody sent this to me. I don't know. I don't remember who. But it says, anyone in Nashville seeing these lights right now? And this was 3 days ago. I feel like I'm not lucky enough to be seeing a UFO, so I needed a second eye. Check this out. I'll tell you what I think it is. In 3, 2, I gush. It's birds, balloons. No. I don't know, man. I got an answer for everything. How high are those? Couple 100 feet. That's about it. Well, that's it, really. That's all you're going to see. Just a couple of loop-de-doos and... Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody want to hedge a bet? Anybody have any ideas? I'm ready. What are you guys talking about? Are you guys, what's funny? I don't understand. Am I missing something? What's going on in the chat room? You guys must be behind. I don't understand. You guys are talking about something? I've got kids. I've got 13 kids right now. I have 13 kids. What is this sighting? Play it again? There's no volume. Play it again. Hey, Gorilla Gamer. I know, that was funny. All right, something's happening. Whoa, why do I feel weird again? Oh no, what are we doing? We're going backwards. Oh, you guys want to see the video again? Oh, okay, I got time warped. All right, here we go, one more time.
And you got the Red Sox, the Yankees, Packers, the Bears, and then you got these two, the rivalry of the century. One ball, two heads, jumping around like fucking seals at SeaWorld. But they are two of the best at what they do, and they are just getting started. Look at this, he's on top of the fucking table, deflecting that one with his forehead off the back of his head. Holy shit!
I told you, that's freaking awesome. That's a good one. That's a good one. What? No. Oh, what are we doing? Oh, that's what that means? All right, we got... This is for Twitter? Twitter. That's the Twitter. Well, we've got some Twitter news. Oh, by the way, the Reddit thing was racing drones. Little tiny drones. They got little lights on them. That's what it is. All right, capiche? Oh, it's a two capiche show. You ready? So I always like to try to find things that are interesting, subject matter, things that I think we should be talking about or discussing, something or another, all right? Not everything may not be what you like, but here's what I found from Jonathan. He's replying to Phenomix 1 and says, "You know as well as I do, it's painful watching them all clamor over each other in self-importance for likes, followers, fresh face, unsuspecting dimwits thinking they know it, F me up the arse with a rusty hacksaw blade. They know nothing, not one of them, not a thing. Truth Above All says, and every one of them seems to have their own effing podcast. Like everybody gives a shit. They compete with one another for that interview with the fruitcake or Zondo or anyone claiming to be the messiah of the day. They deserved this mess. They begged for it and created this cesspool. Wow. You know what they're talking about. All the new podcasts. You understand? All the new people that have come around, nobody knows about. But they're getting these unbelievable interviews with people you and I would most likely like. I mean, I don't try to get anybody on the show, really. I was about to commit stupid-side. No joke. In this field, we've got a lot of people right now who, because of the 180 days, everybody thought they could create a talk show and do better than the next guy or girl. They're like, oh my God, I'm going to do this. I'll get Lou Elizondo. Hey, that's great. That is a really good thing for you to try to do. But they come and go so GD fast, and they waste everybody's time when their channel or their success wasn't what they thought it would be. So they leave. And we see a lot of that. Is it bad? Yes. Is it good? Yes. So what do we do about it? Nothing you can do except bitch about it. I don't really like to bitch too much, in case you haven't noticed. But I like to talk about the things that are interesting to me because I think that you would find them interesting too. Maybe not. But I found out through my own research and seeing other people do the similar thing that I did. And I watched everything form over the last 6 months or so. Right? We saw the deflate. What is it called? The debrief came out. That was based on a foundation of lies. That website. All right? Tim McShillen and Science Blob came up with this lie about a UFO that came out of the water, hovered for a second above submarines and ships, and then shot into the sky, and that they had this picture in their phones that was sent to them by their so-called insiders in the FBI. Anyway, Blob McGuire, the night before, 2 nights before, creates this conversation about how he has this pic of something floating above da-da-da, and Tim McShillen goes nuts about it and thinks that Bob is giving up his story because he was going on Unpopular Mechanics. They had an article they were putting out about the deflate coming out. So it created all this controversy, and then the Batman balloon came out the day after the debrief opened up their doors to the public, and everybody went to the site. It crashed it, and that's how it was built on a false foundation, built on lies. That's the deflate. That's Tim McShillen. Sold Out Radio is part of that now. Isn't that funny? How he hitched his... You know what he did. But it starts with the deflate. Tim McShillen. And what came from the deflate? No, not Ryan Sprague, but Ryan Sprague, honest to God, my right hand to God, biggest snowflake on the planet. He's a barista, a guy who makes coffee for a living, wanted to write screenplays in New York, always wanted to be an actor. And he somehow married somebody, this is what I heard, who was in the field that got him a TV show that he was on with her. She's like an Amazon. Well, he's only 5'2", 5'3", right? Ryan Sprague. He's really short. He's got these big, doe-eyed, frickin' alien balls. I can't stand him. He called himself an investigative journalist. You just can't do that. You're not an investigative journalist unless you went to college for it and learned all the ins and outs and actually did real investigating. Ryan Sprague is one of the biggest fakes in the field. Anyway, the Deflate started their own podcast and started getting all the big names on it. Like, how's this guy who comes out of nowhere, because he's friends with Blue Elizondo. They're all in the same family. The military, because that's what the Deflate is. It's all about weapons. The military, Lockheed. Not a UFO website, but everything that was ever big on that website had to do with UFOs. Funny how the Batman balloon was his opening picture. Good job pulling a hoax on the public. Building your website on lies. Beautiful. Just gorgeous. Way to do it. That's how you do it. That's how you get asses in the seat. Fucking lies. And then if you look at all the people and all the shows that attach themselves to the Deflate, Unidentified Celebrity Review, right? Right? UFO Jane, Ryan, the old hag Sprague, Project Unity. They all connect to the Deflate. And every one of these people hitched their star to the Deflate. And that's how they got their subs. That's how they got their guests. UFO Garage as well. I like them, though. I like the UFO Garage. Now, I don't know where Artemis Prime comes in, but she has got an eternity to go to before she understands ufology. That's about it. Engaging the phenomena, that's another one. Yep. All of these guys come from the Deflate, who all pile in on the Unidentified Celebrity Review show. And I don't understand why. I understand it. I get why you like that show. I get it. It's for the younger snowflake crowd. End of story. It's not for you or me in our 40s, 50s, and even a little older. It's not for us. And if it is, I'd be surprised. But I see a lot of flip-flopping over there. That host, Lewis, he flip-flops. He flip-flops a lot. He doesn't want to make anybody mad. But he flip-flops. Constantly. You can't be flip-flopping just because somebody told you something new that day. Where's your belief system at? In the you believe the last person you spoke to? Is that how it works over there? You don't form your own opinions? I thought you did. See, they started out the right way. I don't know what went wrong. It was right before they put the shirt and tie on. Like if I showed up here tomorrow in a shirt and tie, well, you'd be like, what is going on? What is he doing? I would look more professional. I get it. I get it. I don't know what to do about that, but we'll have to keep our eye open. Now, Wednesday, on Jolly's Going on Church, so I'm going to be listening to that before this show. Don't forget, we start an hour later from now on. You understand that? All right, we're not done. Got more. Chris Spitzer. Oh, here's the second UFO video of the day. Thank God I remembered. As promised, he says, the best daytime UFO video filmed from the cockpit of an airliner I've ever watched. This is... Wait, I will explain later why exactly I think it is the best one and share with you some of my observations and conclusions. Wait a second. This is not real. No. That is so fake. And I'm going to explain to you why. I'll tell you why it is. Because the story of this goes, they're flying and the passenger sees an object in the distance, grabs her camera, and starts to film it. Now, this looks like a shortened version of that original video. And I think it is. But there's a problem with this. Let's say that plane's going 400 to 500 miles an hour. The object I just showed you looked like it was passing by not so fast, right? Didn't look that fast. Maybe 100 miles an hour, 200, I don't know. It's hard to tell. But here's the problem, jerky. There is no way in hell that woman spotted that tiny freaking dot in the time frame from when she turns on the camera and then starts to see it out in the distance, because it's very, very small. But there is no way she could have seen it at the distance. There's just no way from... Look, watch. So you don't see it, right? But she's already seen it. And then she wanted to show everybody that she was flying and the altitude and the... But this object, it's been about 10 seconds since she's seen it. Imagine how far away it is. Well, you can't even see it. It just pops out. See, this is worse quality than the one I saw. See, right here, you can barely see it. So that means in this shot, we should be able to see it somewhere out there. Now, I know that the camera is not as good as her eyes, maybe, but it would have to be really tiny. Because all that time went by when she was showing us the cockpit panel display. This was added in there. She's just recording clouds. That is it. The zooming in is not her. It's just post-op in edit to make you think that she's zooming in on it. And by the way, it looks fake. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to that. Because I ain't buying it. But this guy wants us to believe, and let's go back to him. Chris Spitzer says he has what, evidence? He says he's going to show us. Well, I don't see it. This video was filmed after T.O. from Pereira on the way to Cartagena, Colombia, by a pilot for Viva Air called Cesar Murillo Perez with the brand new iPhone 11 Pro Max. He filmed it with an iPhone. With the telephoto setup. Bullshit. That is not the telephoto setup. No way. He was flying an Airbus A320, so he's going 550 miles an hour. And they encountered the object with his first officer while still on the climb out to cruise altitude. So they're at 30,000 feet. They're climbing 1,000 feet a minute at 463 knots. Wind speed of 5 knots with the autopilot set on. Unfortunately, I'm still investigating this event and I cannot give you yet a 100% accurate, reliable estimate of local time or UTC. Time is displayed in the metadata of the raw file, but since the pilot thinks it was earlier, then I'll have to check with archived ADSB out data to make sure I'm right. His first officer said 290 CA, which stands for FL290, calibrated altitude. I cannot understand what else she said. The pilot answered a few questions to my friend Scott Brando, UFO of Interest, on Facebook and Twitter. He said, "This is not a UFO. I think it may be a balloon. So I'm not sure. During my flights, many times I saw objects or similar things. It's common in this industry." So we don't know. Unbelievable. The link to that will be in the description of the show. So you'll see it if you want to check it out. But unbelievable. I don't believe that story one bit. Not one bit. That is bull. It ain't real. No. But I want to thank everybody. We'll be back tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, right here on GUFON. Thank you, moderators and super chatters. Thank you for your help, your support. Without you, this doesn't happen. So thank you for all of that. And thank you, veterans and newcomers. Thank you. Hey, all I ask is you give the show, 5 to 15 minutes. If you like it, come back, subscribe, share it to one person, maybe 2. And come back and give a big thumbs up. We need 200 of those every show. Just try to remember. And resubscribe. Some people are being unsubbed, so make sure you're subscribed so you get all the updates and everything. And that's that. We'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. I will have a third phase UFO report tonight. You don't want to miss this one. And that's it. If you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. All right. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Can never be smooth.
Hickson.